Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you about more about putting yourself in check. I'm just gonna start by telling you guys that I have to put myself in check today. I am doing a 90-day challenge. It's like a prayer slash just getting closer to Jesus challenge. I had to check myself today. The leader of the challenge, Sean Sanders, was talking about being grateful and being content. And I always saw being content as like borderline settling. And I know there's a big difference, but also depending on your mindset, being content could lead to settling. And I always was afraid of that. The truth is, I'm afraid to lose what I've worked so hard to survive all these years. Now, I made a video about my life story, and I linked that below. And basically, I just went through a lot, and I went through a long time of having to fend for myself emotionally. And the way that I compensated was working hard and trying to be stable at home. So making sure I could pay my own bills, making sure that I don't have to ask anybody for anything. And if I did ever ask anybody for anything, I make sure that I pay them back, and I pay them back in interest even if they don't ask me. And that was me overcompensating for the fact that I didn't have the emotional maturity, or my emotions weren't nurtured from the age of 8 the way that I needed them for myself. It doesn't sound bad. Oh, you were independent, that's what you're supposed to do when you grow up. No, this started young. This started when I was still in the home with my parents. When I was in the home with my parents, I wouldn't even like I wouldn't even say I'm hungry. I literally said, I'm gonna take care of myself. I'm not gonna be a burden to anyone. Nobody's gonna have to say that I asked them for anything. And I lived my life like that. That did come down to how I treated people. Like, I was attached to them emotionally because that's where I was deprived. In other spaces, I probably may people feel like I don't need you. I don't need you for anything. And if you ever feel one day that I ever come across like needing you, you're sadly mistaken. I live my life like that. So now I'm in a place where I have been praying and I have been asking God for years to please help me get to the next level of my life. Well, here's the 2 prayers that I had. I prayed that God would let me go back to school full time without having to work and still be able to be on my own. And I've also been praying for God to bring the husband that He designed for me into my life. So those are 2 prayers. Clearly, the second prayer was higher on my list in my head, the husband prayer, right? But the not have to work and go to school prayer was answered first. But I had to do my part too. What happened is in January 2014, I was let go from my job because my position became obsolete. When they first let me go, I can't even explain the feeling of relief. Like, it was like, oh, bye. And a couple of days passed, and I have not been that scared since I was a little girl. I'm gonna say probably since I heard my mom got breast cancer and I did not know what was gonna happen. I had never been that scared after a couple of days. It's been 3 months since then, because now it's April 2014, and something has just been all like getting in my way of looking for a school and trying to get into it. Like, I have the time, I can do it, I can figure out a way where there's so many different resources out here these days. that I can figure out a way, and God is definitely opened it up for me. But I ain't looked for no school yet. And I was thinking to myself, oh, you know, I need this time to recoup, because I was burnt out from this job. Burnt out. I was in school. I couldn't even finish my schoolwork half the time. Like, I had to leave the school that I was in. I was in school full time. I was at work full time. At one point, I had 2 jobs. I was working 7 days a week. And this is right after I lost my twins, because I needed something to do to take my mind off of all the emotional warfare that was going on. And I just couldn't be content. And at this moment, right now, I feel like God is telling me, check yourself before you wreck yourself, right? I didn't want to say that part. But it's true. God is telling me check myself before I wreck myself. It's so crazy because I prayed for this and I asked for this and I'm here. But my fear of having to depend on someone and nobody stepping up to help me in my time of need is so great that I haven't looked for a new school to go to pursue the program that I want to pursue. And I haven't looked for ways that I can get into these schools, because during my life or during my education, I never had the mental capacity to really get through school and have passing grades. Never. High school, college, going back to school when I was working as a grown-up, I didn't have the mental capacity. I was always going through some emotional warfare. And I'm afraid that now that I have the time to really concentrate and not let other things get in the way, that nobody is going to be there for me. Because I told everybody, I don't need you. I can handle myself. And I have to really check myself before I wreck myself, because I'm going to end up losing. I prayed for this. I prayed for this day and night. I woke up in the middle of the night sometimes just like, I don't want to go back there, God. I don't want to go back to that place. Just please tell them, let me go. I prayed for that. God, please just tell them to let me go, so that I could just concentrate on school and get to where I want to be in life, and get to where I'm successful in life, where I could give back to people. And even when I was younger, I just wanted to help young children. Like when I was a kid, my parents used to say, what you want to be when you grow up? A pediatrician, because I love babies and I want to help them and I want to make them feel better and I want to make kids be strong. And that was my ministry since I was a baby. Now that I'm coming into knowing that I'm worth more than what I thought I was worth before, I'm coming into being more and more comfortable with speaking out loud and saying what my ministry is. I can't have any fear. I can't have that fear. And it's such a silly fear to have when I say it out loud. Like, oh, I'm scared that nobody's gonna help me. Who do I need more than God? If God is sending me there, who do I need more than God? And Sean Sanders also said something, and it really makes sense. Jesus didn't even have a place to lay his head. On a day-to-day basis, Jesus didn't know where he was going to eat, where he was going to sleep, where he was going to end up. I have a place to live. I have food to eat. And I know where I want to end up. I know where I'm going at the end of the day. And yeah, the fear is that that's going to be taken. But if it is, I'm still going to be no less off than Jesus was. Right? I'm not saying I'm Jesus. I'm not comparing myself to. But then again, that's what he was brought here for, so that we can check ourselves according to how he lived his life. For real. And it doesn't even matter if you're whatever you believe in. He was brought here so that you can check yourself according to how he lived his life, according to how content he was in all his circumstances, and how he knew who he was and whose he was and who he belonged to. That's how we're supposed to live our life, and our day-to-day dwellings, not day-to-day goings on. We're supposed to be able to say, What would Jesus do? Why you think they make the bracelets? Right? So what I just want to say is, I had to just share this with you and let you guys know that, don't be afraid, and don't settle, and don't live out of fear. Be content with the fact that you have so many blessings and so many avenues to reach the potential that God has for you. Like, we all are going somewhere. We all are going somewhere, and God is the one who's sending us there. And we have to be content in every single situation. The process is never going to change. Whatever God has for you, whatever process there is, you're going to go through it, or you're not going to get the blessing. That's the way it works. So I just wanted to come to you guys and talk about, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Really dig into where God is sending you, and really dig into the journey, because it's really going to take you where you need to be. All right, guys. So thanks for joining me. If you have any comments, any suggestions, any questions, you know where to put them, right below in the comment section. And my question to you is, are you grateful for your answered prayers? Or are you fearful for the work that you have to put in to gain the blessing that God has for you? You can answer below. You can write me however you want to answer me. I have a Twitter. That's probably the best place for you to answer me, on my Twitter or my Facebook page, and all of that is below. And guys, just join me. Just be a part of this. If it moves you, be a part of this. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.